Concerns about the deepening partnership between China and Russia in the West, especially the US, are growing by the day. This evolving axis could lead to significant shifts in the global order, potentially undermining US and Western influence. Such shifts carry numerous implications, prompting Western countries to act strategically. Western dependence on China for trade and on Russia for energy makes complete decoupling a difficult task. Instead, Western countries are attempting to deter further cooperation between China and Russia while maintaining necessary economic ties. This dual approach aims to contain their strategic partnership without severing vital economic ties. The recent diplomatic meeting in Beijing between Chinese President Xi Jinping and Russian President Vladimir Putin was a landmark moment in global geopolitics. The visit, part of Putin's two-day state visit to China, underscores the deepening alliance between the two countries amid growing tensions with the United States and ongoing conflicts such as the war in Ukraine. During the meeting, Xi and Putin emphasized the importance of their strategic partnership, signing a joint statement on further expanding comprehensive cooperation. Xi said the two countries are committed to developing a more balanced world order. The agreement is a testament to their desire to strengthen military, economic, and diplomatic ties. The leaders emphasized that their cooperation is not directed against any third party, but rather aims to create a more balanced global order. They discussed various issues including energy cooperation, military coordination, and efforts to counter Western influence. Despite the turmoil caused by Russia's actions in Ukraine, China remains steadfast in its support for Russia, showing a united front against Western pressure. Xi Jinping reiterated China's call for a peaceful resolution to the conflict in Ukraine, positioning China as a potential mediator. However, China's position is to maintain official neutrality while providing economic and political support to Russia. Economic cooperation remains the cornerstone of their relationship. China continues to be a key market for Russian energy exports. Military cooperation was also emphasized as both countries conduct joint exercises and strategic military coordination to improve their defense capabilities against perceived threats from NATO and the United States. Importantly, the visit was Putin's first state visit to China since his re-election, symbolizing the high importance both countries attach to bilateral relations. The timeliness of the visit, coinciding with the current situation, is also a key factor in China's response to the diplomatic relations between the US and Russia. China, which relies on energy imports for 70% of its needs, stands to gain significantly from an energy partnership with Russia. In 2022, Russia became China's second-largest supplier of crude oil, supplying 1.7 million barrels per day, accounting for 17% of China's total oil imports. In addition, Russia supplied significant amounts of coal, LNG, and pipeline gas to China. This energy trade has only intensified as Western sanctions on Russia have forced Moscow to seek more reliable markets in the East, making China a critical partner in this area. Since the 1990s, China's military achievements have been greatly bolstered by Russian technology and imports. This cooperation has included the acquisition of advanced fighter jets such as the Su-27 and Su-35, air defense systems such as the S-300 and S-400, and various other military technologies. These deals not only enhanced China's military capabilities, but also provided a significant revenue stream for the Russian defense industry, especially important after the imposition of Western sanctions. The strategic partnership between China and Russia has deepened significantly, motivated by shared geopolitical interests and a unified stance against Western influence. Both countries view the United States as their primary security challenge and seek to counterbalance American power. This common viewpoint has led to increased coordination during military exercises, technology transfer, and diplomatic support in international arenas. In addition to energy, economic cooperation between China and Russia extends to various sectors, including technology and infrastructure. The Belt and Road Initiative has provided Russia with significant investment opportunities, facilitating the development of critical infrastructure that benefits both countries. In addition, Russia's natural resources play a vital role in the development of Russian industry, meeting China's needs and further strengthening their economic interdependence. The strategic mission that unites China and Russia is fundamentally driven by their shared goal of weakening U.S. global dominance. Xi Jinping views Vladimir Putin as an indispensable ally in this struggle. Both countries feel considerable pressure from the United States, which has fostered a closer bilateral alliance. This partnership is deeply rooted in a mutual distaste for American influence and a collective ambition to challenge the U.S.-led international order. This joint mission poses a significant threat to U.S. interests and global stability as both countries seek to shift the balance of power in their favor. As founding members of the BRICS group, China and Russia share many common interests that further incentivize their cooperation. BRICS serves as a platform for both countries to interact on economic, political, and security issues, promoting a multipolar world order that opposes Western hegemony. Their participation in BRICS allows them to collectively advance their strategic goals, using the group's influence to counter the dominance of the US and Europe in global affairs. Politically, China and Russia support each other in international forums such as the United Nations, where they often vote unanimously on key issues, countering Western policies. This political alignment is crucial for both countries as they seek to protect their sovereignty and advance their vision of a new world order. Their cooperation extends to other multilateral organizations and initiatives, such as the Shanghai Cooperation Organization and the Eurasian Economic Union, which further strengthen their strategic alliance. Recently, China and Russia have significantly deepened cooperation in the automotive sector, reflecting their strategic partnership amid ongoing geopolitical turmoil. Here are some key highlights. The dominance of Chinese brands in Russia. Chinese automakers are increasingly dominating the Russian market. As of early 2024, Chinese brands such as Chery, Geely, and Haval have become some of the best-selling car brands in Russia, with Chinese cars taking 9 of the top 10 spots on the list of best-selling brands in the country. This growth is mainly due to the vacuum left by the withdrawal of Western automakers from the Russian market due to sanctions imposed because of the conflict in Ukraine. Moskvich. In a significant move, Russian truck maker Kamaz has revived the Soviet car brand Moskvich with the help of Chinese manufacturers. The company, now operating out of the former Renault plant in Moscow, plans to produce 50,000 cars in 2023 with the prospect of increasing production to 100,000 cars in 2024. There will be a significant focus on electric cars, which are expected to account for 20% of Moskvich sales. Record trade levels. Trade between China and Russia has reached unprecedented levels, with automobile exports playing a crucial role. China will export an estimated 800,000 cars to Russia in 2023, 5 times more than in previous years. This strong trade relationship is part of a broader borderless partnership that has developed between the two countries since the start of the war in Ukraine. These developments underscore the deepening economic ties between China and Russia, especially in the automotive sector, which is one of the most important industries in both countries as they try to find their way in a complex landscape of international sanctions and geopolitical shifts. The deepening alliance between China and Russia poses a serious challenge to U.S. interests and global stability. This partnership, characterized by increased military, economic, and political cooperation, threatens to stretch U.S. defense capabilities, especially if conflicts erupt simultaneously in regions such as Taiwan and Eastern Europe. Military and defense implications. Military cooperation between China and Russia has grown significantly, with joint exercises and technology exchanges enhancing their capabilities. This deepened engagement allows China to fill gaps in its military capabilities, such as air defense and anti-ship weapon systems, with advanced Russian technology. In addition, coordinated actions, such as Russian interference in U.S. space surveillance during the Taiwan crisis, could further stretch U.S. defense resources. This scenario forces U.S. strategists to consider complex, multilateral conflicts that could weaken the effectiveness of their response. Synergies between China and Russia also strengthen their global power projection, challenging U.S. dominance. For example, joint naval maneuvers with other countries such as Iran demonstrate their ability to project power and signal their willingness to counter U.S. influence on a global scale. This cooperation increases the credibility and visibility of their challenge to U.S. dominance, complicating U.S. control over regions and economies. The risk of de-dollarization is another critical issue for the U.S. economy in the context of the China-Russia alliance. As these countries seek to reduce their dependence on the U.S. dollar for international trade, there could be serious consequences for U.S. economic power. De-dollarization efforts, if successful, could reduce global demand for U.S. dollars, affecting the value of the currency and increasing the cost of borrowing for the U.S. government. This shift could also weaken the U.S. ability to impose economic sanctions, a key tool of its foreign policy, thereby reducing leverage in global geopolitics. Overall, the deepening China-Russia alliance presents multifaceted challenges to U.S. interests, ranging from military and economic dimensions to broader geopolitical implications. Addressing these challenges requires a comprehensive strategy that includes strengthening alliance relations, exploiting differences between China and Russia, and preparing for potential economic shifts such as de-dollarization. The U.S. and its Western partners need to carefully consider their next steps. Taking too harsh measures against China and Russia can only strengthen their alliance and push for even greater rapprochement. On the other hand, inaction is also unacceptable, as it could allow Beijing and Moscow to continue to strengthen their positions without retaliation. A balanced approach combining containment and engagement may be the best solution. The West should firmly defend its interests and values, while keeping diplomatic channels open for dialogue and finding areas of mutually beneficial cooperation with China and Russia. Strengthening alliances with other regional powers such as India, Japan, and Southeast Asian countries can also help the U.S. counter the growing influence of China and Russia. These countries have their own concerns about Beijing's and Moscow's ambitions and may be interested in creating a counterbalance. In the economic sphere, the West should diversify its trade and investment flows to reduce dependence on China and Russia. Developing new supply chains, supporting local production, and strengthening economic ties with other partners can provide greater resilience to potential shocks. While the coming years will undoubtedly be full of geopolitical challenges, the West must act strategically and decisively to protect its interests and maintain stability in the global order. Deepening cooperation with allies and partners, a combination of pressure and diplomacy, and economic flexibility can be key elements in forging a balanced response to the evolving China-Russia partnership. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed my analysis, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss future updates. I wish you success and all the best in this challenging but exciting time of geopolitical shifts. Take care.